launch Rhino. And hit new. Once you hit new, you will hit small object inches. Small object inches. Okay, so go ahead and do that. Launch the program, hit the new tab, and then small object inches. When you start a new document, what you want to do first is to do the basic settings. Okay, to do that, you will go to the the tools pull-down menu, and then towards the very bottom, it will say options. So select options, and a dialog box should pop up that has all the options in it. It's the same dialog box where you had the toolbars, right? So this is what we're looking at. Put the scroll bar up on top so that this portion shows up. And what you want to do is to hit where it says units. So once you hit the units options, you'll note on the left hand side the model units. You have a choice of all these different measuring. However, I would like you to keep it at inches. The reason for that is that when we migrate these documents or these models into AutoCAD, AutoCAD is going to have a default setting of measuring everything in inches first. So if you had yours set to a foot and you bring it into another program, its scale is going to be completely off. So if you set the units the same on all the programs, you can kind of jump back and forth in any one of those. Okay, so set your units to inches, and the absolute tolerance, I guess we could keep it at 0.001. Relative tolerance, that's fine. The only other things that I would like you to do in this is that click on the distance display. Make it, right now it's decimal. I would like for you to put it to feet and inches. When you did that, notice that this portion right here, display precision, will change to 1 foot, 1 1/8 inch. I don't know if yours have 1/8 inch, but mine does. If you want to change the precision to just 1 inch or something smaller, you can do so here. But for what we're doing right now, keeping it at 1 foot, 1 1/8 inch would be fine. Basically, this is telling us that the most accurate this model is going to get is to 1/8 of an inch. When you're doing construction documents and stuff, contractors are not going to measure to the 1/8 of an inch. You'll be lucky if you get inches. Okay, so, but for this model, please stick to 1/8 inch. So that's the unit. Now, I would like you to set the grid. So you come up to this portion right here. And in the grid, you will type in, you make sure that it says it's on viewport, the grid line count. Right now for mine it's 200. I'm going to change that to 288, and I'll explain that a little later. So minor grid line, I'll put that to every 6 inches. Minor grid line every 6 inches, and major grid line every 10. So what that means is that all these grid that we have set up here is going to be set to 6-inch grid. What this major grid line is, every 10th line is going to be a heavier line shown. What that means is that at 6 inches and 10 spaces, you'll have about 5 feet. So that's what that is. It says show grid line, show grid axis, show world icon, that's fine. Snap spacing, Quarter of an inch is a little much, so we'll just put that as 6 inches for now as well. Okay, so once you have that, we'll do more settings, but why don't we just quit here for now and then say OK, and go ahead and zoom in and out on this perspective view. Okay, so your grid, there should be about 288 of them because that's what we set it to. Each of these grid we have 6-inch grid, and then every heavier line is at that 10th or 10th grid space. Okay, when you go into the top view or the front view, if you pan, does everything move in unison? Yes or no? Then we'll set that up next.